I'm going to try to be as honest as I can here, Evan, though it makes me feel sick to even type these words. I'm a homicide detective in a mid-sized American city. Let's just leave it at that. I've been on the job for 12 years. 12 years of blood, grief, screaming family members. I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Children zipped into body bags. Victims burned until there's nothing but teeth. I used to think I could handle it, that I was hardened, numb, that the job wouldn't change me. But this case broke me. It started 6 months ago. We got the call about a body in an abandoned house on the east side. Female, mid-20s. She'd been strangled, bound, partially undressed, but the strangest part was how clean it was. No blood spatter, no signs of a fight, just rope burns on her wrists and neck. And those lines, precise shallow cuts all across her torso, like someone was carving patterns into her flesh with surgical focus, but never deep enough to bleed out. It felt ritualistic. I remember standing in that rotting room, crime scene tape flapping in the wind. My partner Jenna beside me, she whispered, "What the hell are we dealing with?" I didn't answer her, because I didn't know. 2 weeks later, it happened again. Different part of town, different victim. Same MO, same lines on the skin. But this time, he posed her. Kneeling, head bowed, hands folded in prayer. It was so deliberate, like an offering. We started calling him the surgeon. Not out of respect, God no, but because it was precise, controlled, almost. Reverend. I remember the second autopsy so clearly. Fluorescent lights glaring off her pale skin. The smell of antiseptic that never really covers the smell of death. And this pressure in my skull, like something was trying to split it open. Jenna noticed. She asked if I was okay. I lied, said it was a migraine. But at WASN, single quotes, after the third murder, everything went to hell. Media everywhere. Press conferences every damn day. Reporters screaming questions. Is there a serial killer on the loose? The captain put us on 16-hour shifts. I stopped going home. I slept on a couch in the precinct. Lived off vending machine sandwiches and burnt coffee. And somewhere in all of that, I started forgetting things. Jenna noticed first. She'd be talking to me, and I'd just drift, like static in my head. One day she handed me the suspect list and asked what I thought. I stared at it, realizing I didn't even know who the suspects were. I blamed the hours, the stress. I tried to believe that, but then the dreams started. I'd wake up soaked in sweat, sheets twisted around me like restraints, and I'd see flashes, short, violent images. An alley at night, a woman screaming, my hands around her throat, rope cutting deep, a knife gleaming under a streetlight. I'd hear my own voice, low, calm whispering, "She, don't fight." I'd wake up gasping, clawing at my own skin. The worst part, sometimes there were marks, scratches on my arms, dirt under my nails. One time, I woke up on my kitchen floor, fully dressed, boots caked in mud. No memory of how I got there. Another time I came to in my car, engine off, parked on a street I didn't recognize, my phone in the passenger seat. Screen lit up with a sent message, 2:42 a.m. to Jenna. It just said, "Help me." But I didn't tell her. I didn't tell anyone about the dreams, or the blackouts, or the gnawing horror in my gut that something was terribly wrong with me. Because every time I sat at my desk, flipping through the victims' photos, I felt cold, numb. But there was something else, a twist in my stomach. Recognition we caught. A break 2 months ago. A witness. Homeless man. Half blind. Stank of whiskey. But he'd seen something. He described the killer. White male, mid-30s, black hair, 6 foot, athletic build. That's me. My captain called me in, shut the door. Didn't even look at me at first. Just rubbed his face and said, "You need to take some time off. You look like shit." I didn't argue, because he was right. I looked like death. Felt worse. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat in my dark apartment with the TV off. Street lights, casting weird shadows on the walls. I kept hearing that voice. "She, don't fight." I snapped. I tore the place apart. Drawers yanked out. papers everywhere. I didn't even know what I was looking for until I found it in the back of my closet, behind a box of old case files. A small folded knife, wrapped in duct tape to keep fingerprints off, stained dark brown. I peeled it back, held it to my nose, ironed out blood. I gagged, dropped it, stumbled back like it burned me, sat on the floor for hours, hands shaking, head in my hands, trying to tell myself I was being framed, that someone planted it, that it wasn't mine. But in the back of my head, something cold and calm whispered, "You know it's yours." At dawn, I called Jenna. My voice cracked when she picked up. I told her I needed to talk. She didn't even hesitate, said she'd come over. I think she knew. She's always been too damn perceptive. I sat there in my dark living room, knife on the coffee table in front of me, blood-stained dull in the morning light. I kept running through what I'd say. It's not me. I'm being framed. I don't remember. None of it felt true. She knocked on the door, soft at first, then harder. "Open up, talk to me, please." I got up, hand on the knob, fingers trembling, but I couldn't turn it. I felt something dark, cold, heavy, like hands on my shoulders, holding me back, and I heard it. That voice, calm, patient, "Don't let her in." I pressed my forehead to the door, eyes closed. I could hear her crying, calling my name, begging, but I didn't move. After a while, she left. Silence flooded the apartment and finally slid to the floor, sobbing. I don't know how long I stayed there. Couldn't face her, couldn't admit it, couldn't risk seeing the look in her eyes. 2 days later, I found something else. My basement has this old, warped floor.1 board, never sat right. I don't know why I pried it up. Curiosity, guilt maybe. Hope I'd find nothing. Instead, I found a plastic bag, tied tight. My hands were shaking so bad, I could barely untie it. Inside: 4 wallets, .IDs, .photos. There, hair, bundles of it, all labeled neatly. In my handwriting, my vision tunneled. I remember my ears ringing, my pulse pounding so hard, I thought I'd black out. I dropped it and staggered back. Hitting the wall, I stared at that bag for what felt like hours, trying to convince myself it wasn't real, that it was planted. But I recognized my own scrawl on the labels. I don't remember falling asleep, but I woke up on the cold concrete, tears dried on my face, my mouth dry as sand. I should have burned it, or turned it in. Instead, I rewrapped the bag and put it back. That night, I dreamed it all. Not flashes this time, complete, start to finish. Dragging her into the abandoned house, her muffled screams. The way her eyes went wide when I tightened the rope. The smell of sweat, blood, urine, the moment she went limp, and my voice so calm she don't fight. I woke up gasping, heart racing. But there was something else worse than the fear, satisfaction. Today, I sat in my living room with everything laid out on the table. Knife, not wallets, photos, my badge. I kept looking at the badge. Detective, protector, guardian, murderer, I. Picked up my phone. I don't know how long I stared at it. I almost called. Jenna almost confessed. But then I heard it again. That voice, soft, gentle. Just one more, then you can rest. My hand dropped, because the truth is, I don't know if I want to stop. When I close my eyes, I see their faces. Hear the rasp of the rope, feel the warmth. Leave them, and it's quiet. Peaceful. I'm writing this because I don't know what else to do. If anyone finds this, I'm sorry. I truly am, but I don't think I'm going to stop. Tonight, I think I'm going hunting. If you see me on the news, pray they catch me before I find you.